welcome back to my reviews of my favorite Transformers cartoon ever, Beast Wars. In today's review, we're taking a look at the episode Equal Measures. In this episode, Cheetor is accidentally transported to the Predacons' base, and he learns that the destruction of their base could mean the destruction of their own as well. We begin with the Maximals working on a couple projects during a thunderstorm. Rhinox is working on some survey posts, and Dinobot is making some type of bomb, which they plan to use to blow up the Predacons' base. Although one criticism I have right off the bat is that I think they made the bomb look a little too similar to the survey posts, as they are both these kind of gray pillar-shaped things. But Optimus scrubs the mission because of the storm.
The placement of those survey posts must be thoroughly calculated to avoid contact with any underground energon deposits.
I'm not just some dippy cub, you know. I can do this. Try having some faith in me for once.
This actually confused me for a second, because Cheetor is a cat. So shouldn't he have said kitten instead? I usually associate cubs with bears. But nope, as it turns out, baby cheetahs are referred to as cubs, not kittens. So Cheetor was actually correct here. Huh, the more you know. Although, this is a really bad throw by Cheetor. Seriously, he's already throwing an unstable bomb. He could at least throw it at Dinobot, not to the side of him. So Cheetor is pretty miffed that Big Bot won't let him do the mission. And Dinobot is also obsessed with defeating Megatron. So he goes and visits Cheetor in his room, and convinces him to do the mission anyways. I like that the Maximals seem to have their own quarters on board their ship. I wish we could have gotten to see some of the other Maximals' rooms in this series. I think the only other ones we see are Dinobots and Optimus's. The only thing we know about Rattrap's is apparently he has a collection of Waspinator's parts. No doubt from all the times that he's been blown up. But I do think that it's cute, and it adds some nice world building that they each have their own space. Also, if you'll notice this silhouette of a cheetah behind Cheetor here, it has some writing on it. This is actually Maximal Cybertronics, and it translates to restricted. I don't know why he'd have that there. Maybe it's supposed to be like when a kid has a keep out sign on their bedroom door. So shouldn't this be on his door instead? Oh well. Again, it's kind of cool that they bothered to put this in here. It adds a little bit more seasoning to the show. So, of course, Cheetor goes out on his own and starts planting survey posts, when one of them accidentally hits an energon vein, which, combined with the storm, creates a teleportation device which sends Cheetor to the Predacons' base. Because, you know, science?
Did I get fried? Is this...
Welcome to the dark side.
This is the line where the Predacon ship got its name. It was never actually named in the show, but fans loosely interpreted this as the dark side being its name, which was later officially adopted. Although obviously this is just a reference to Star Wars, and wasn't initially intended to actually be the name of the ship. But still, it is a fun little note. This fight between Cheetor and Pterosaur has some really great bits. For one, I find it funny that Cheetor realizes that he's already in robot mode.
Pterosaur, terrorize!
Cheater! Maximi! Did that already.
And two, I really like this part where Cheetor uses the force from him firing his gun to turn the Predacon hover platform upright. This is some great thinking, whoever came up with that. Especially when they could have just easily had him jump up on the platform as normal. So Cheetor pounces on Pterosaur, knocking him into the Predacon computer, which teleports him to the Maximal's base. And I just noticed that the platform that Cheetor is on actually has some Predacon writing on it, which looks to be the numbers 9, 6, and 4. What do these numbers represent? Who knows? I couldn't find anything that correlated to this. I wish I could ask one of the animators who worked on this show. As Cheetor escapes Scorponok and Waspinator, we see Pterosaur inside the Maximal base. Here, he encounters his former comrade Dinobot. But Pterosaur proposes that they team up and take over the Maximals and Predacons together. It's funny seeing these two very Starscreamy characters acting very Starscreamy together. But their alliance doesn't last very long, as Dinobot quickly shoves Pterosaur into the trash and fires him out of the ship. Or maybe these are actually toilets? After all, it does make a flushing sound. And Pterosaur does spin around in what looks like water before being launched into the distance. Wait, do Transformers poop? Then again, it literally says trash can in Maximal on the little window. So yeah, I guess technically these are for trash. But who knows? Maybe the Maximals use them for disposing of other forms of waste too. Dinobot then presents Optimus with the idea to use the transporter to send the bomb to the Predacons' base and destroy it.
The same energon vein runs under both bases. An explosion at either base would destroy us all.
So, just as Cheetor is about to return home, he finds that his fellow Maximals have sent the bomb, and he helps the Predacons avoid being blown to bits. He escapes, and the impromptu teleporter is destroyed in the process. And once again, it seems like Cheetor hasn't learned his lesson. Maybe this episode should have come before the web. Well, this was kind of an okay episode of Beast Wars. I seem to remember enjoying this episode more as a kid. I would have liked to see more of Dinobot and Pterosaur's temporary alliance. It could have given them a chance to flesh out their relationship to each other more. It is funny how Dinobot refers to Pterosaur as Needlenose at one point in this episode, which was the name of a G1 Transformer. Who knows? Maybe Pterosaur did actually used to be the Decepticon Target Master Needlenose before becoming a Predacon. Probably not. It's also interesting how they point out in this episode that if either base were to be destroyed, the chain reaction from the energon vein running under both bases would destroy them all. But by the end of the series, the dark side would be destroyed. Although, by that point the Maximals had moved out of the Axelon. So, I guess that makes that a moot point. Still, I wonder why the Predacons didn't just mine out the energon from the vein running under their base to the Maximals. Then when they're done, they'd have a secret tunnel to the Maximals' base where they could launch a sneak attack.
Yeah, I forget the next couple lines, but then it goes, Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel!
Oh well, let me know what you thought of this episode of Beast Wars down in the comments. Remember to like, share, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next week for the next episode of Beast Wars, Chain of Command. This should be an interesting one. So, I'll see you back here next time for that.